I have a story from BindingTheComics.com. Original Dungeons & Dragons dev blasts Wizards of the Coast after new book portrays games creators as massive bigots. Quote, these people are the epitome of evil robber barons parading as the good guys, unquote. Completely agree, but let's see what the article says. The revisionist attempt in question can be found in the preface to the game's recently published history book, Dungeons & Dragons, the Making of Original D&D, 1970 to 1977. Therein, amidst teases of the book's content, current Wizards of the Coast designer Jason Tondro took seemingly every opportunity he could to apologize for the fact that the original version of the game was not sufficiently progressive by modern standards. In doing so, suggesting that its creators were inherently bigoted themselves. In one instance, he wrote, "Note that the rules for fantastic medieval war games campaigns that make up original D&D were created by and sold to a wargaming community that was almost exclusively white, middle-class men. The rules compiled here offer little by ways of roles for other players, nor indeed for anyone who wouldn't easily identify with a pulp, sword, and sorcery hero. Especially before 1974, the rules made light of slavery, in addition to including other harmful content." Later on in the preface, he likewise warns readers some language in the first iteration of D&D presents a moral quandary. The documents reproduced in this book include many pages of charts and tables alongside lists of monsters, spells, and magic items. But that game content also includes a virtual catalog of insensitive and derogatory language, words that are casually hurtful to anyone with a physical or mental disability, or who happen to be old, fat, not conventionally attractive, indigenous, black, or woman. You pretty much got the whole Yahtzee right there. Some people have charitably ascribed this language to authors working from bad assumptions, he continues. 1970s historical wargamers in America were predominantly white, middle-aged men. Isn't surprising that they would dub a class of soldiers the fighting man. But when in the pages of the expansion module Greyhawk, the description of the Queen of Chitosi dragons includes a dig at women's lib, the misogyny is revealed as a conscious choice. And it goes on, it continues. I'll link this in the description box. You can read it for yourself, because, I mean, it goes on. The guy, that dumbass, has got quite a bit to say. Anyway, here's the statement. We'll bring it up here. Okay. Unhappy with seeing his and his friend's name dragged to the mud by Wizards of the Coast for the umpteenth time, original Dungeons & Dragons designer Robert J. Kuntz would take to social media to offer a very public pushback to Wizards of the Coast revisionism. The post originally made the official Twitter account for its Three Line Studio publishing house and later shared to its Facebook page. The co-author of the aforementioned Greyhawk and Gods, Demigods, and Heroes expansions admitted to his followers, I may have to take a break from posting. This whole attack upon old TSRs really tripped my trigger. And he goes on, he talks about, well, I'll highlight some stuff. It really is a burden watching this slanderous episode unfold. And it was done without one bat of an eyelash. A Wizards of the Coast fait accompli, done in such an assumptive manner that it is that they wield the holy articles on morality which they enact with their reprehensible judge, jury, and executioner demeanor. They're probably wincing and wondering, us, the saints of truth, more like snakes. Anyone who would wait until the majority of the authors who created the game were gone to stick it to them in this manner is a vile snake. Just to complete the deed, to do it on the 50th anniversary, show their admirers who's in charge and show them who's in control of the IP. He's specifically talking about, 3 of the 4 original creators are past, basically. Let me see. Here's their name. Gary Gygax, Dave Arneson, Jim Ward, and Brian Bloom are gone, and that leaves me as the last man standing. My bad, it was 4 out of 5. It really is a burden watching this slanderous episode unfold. Okay, and that's when he repeats himself. Or that's when I repeat myself, I should say. It's not just Gary or Dave and us others. It's also about wanting to wipe out that success and claim it as their own. In order to do that, the fandom must be attacked as well as that history. All of it must be purged and never again allowed to exist. Like I said, I'll link this in the description box. You can read it for yourself. Because, he continues on, and rightfully so. He has every right, every reason to be upset. This is absolutely ridiculous that these clowns keep doing this crap. And they keep doing it because they're not enjoying the same amount of success that they think they're entitled to, they think that they should have, nor are they having the success that they had back in the old days. Back before Wizards of the Coast took over and started fucking everything up and stuff is absolutely absurd and ridiculous. Wait until the 50th anniversary to just start slagging off on all these guys, basically calling them misogynist and racist and ableist and what other kind of ists and phobes and other kind of bullshit you could spew out. Surprised he didn't mention something about transphobia. Throw in Islamophobia while you're at it. It's absurd. It's ridiculous. These people need to be ashamed of themselves. I will not buy another product from them myself. I would encourage others, do not buy a product from them as well. If you choose to, hey, that's your business, though. That's your call. I mean, you're well within your rights. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to look down on you or anything like that. I would recommend buying it secondhand if you can, or perhaps sail on the high seas, but that's just me. Anyway, like I said a few times, I'm going to link this in the description box because it continues and continues. And like I said, it's well worth reading, especially if you're interested in this. I would highly recommend reading it, maybe even going to the Twitter or the Facebook accounts and stuff and posting there, posting your support and stuff. But anyway, like I said, I'll go ahead and wrap this up here.